Okay, guys, let's talk about the Afcon final. This final has everything you want to have in a huge final game. Yeah, I'm going to give high marks to Morocco for hosting this Afcon. The hosting was quite successful. And this is one of the, no, this is the biggest Afcon ever. This is the biggest Afcon tournament that has ever been held. And I'm going to give high marks to Morocco. They did a great job hosting this one. No doubt about that. No cap about this. But now let's talk about the final. This final had everything you could think of. Anything and everything you can think of in this in a final. It was a very tough game. It's one of the two best teams in Africa meeting each other. I mean, in Africa now you can talk about Morocco, Senegal, Nigeria. These three nations are the top tier three footballing nations in Africa. Anytime, any day you have either of these teams meeting themselves, is going to be a very tough and exciting game. Morocco played very beautiful football. Senegal played very fantastic football. I know before the game, I said this, that what Senegal is going to use to edge the Moroccans is their athleticism and physicality. The longer the game goes, the more it is looking likely that Morocco is going to lose out on that one. Senegal, they are all athletic. Everybody in that team can run. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in that team can take you on a spin with long strides. And they know how to shoot the ball. So, if you look at the game, Senegal, football does not lie. Senegal absolutely deserved to have that winning. From the way the game played out, from the onset. Now, I'm going to be very careful with this I'm going to say here. Just follow me gradually. You're going to see why Senegal were angry if they have the right to be angry. Why were they provoked? Why did the coach ask the player to leave the pitch? Did he just do it because he was just emoting selfishly, or is it legitimate? Does it have a legitimate right of feeling to do that? By the way, I'm expecting some sanctions from CAF or probably even FIFA, because some of the things that happen in this Afcon, I maybe heard that our brother Nwabali is going under scrutiny for his hand gesture when he was provoked. I'm going to come into all that. Let's talk about the finals. Who is to blame actually for what happened in Senegal versus Morocco final? Who is to blame? Is it CAF, or is it the referee, or is it the players, or is it the coaches? When did it all go wrong? The final was flowing. Even though the Senegalese player feel that there are some calls that would have gone their way, which did not go their way. Now, they have that mindset. Before the final, I recall that the Senegalese team have been complaining about the way they were treated, their facilities. I read in the news that they were given a facility that is so open and not so good enough for them. And that facility is also prone to people sneaking in and looking at how they are training, that they feel that it is going to give away their training tactics to the Moroccans, that they could actually watch their training. So they felt that that is not the right facility for them to use, and they complain about it. They also complain about ticketing and other things, that their fans can't get into the stadium, that the Moroccan fans have taken up all the whole seats and they barely have a place to sit. So these are most of the things that we are talked about before the game, the build-up. So that anxiety and that tension that there is probably a sort of favoritism to the Moroccans, which is not even proven. It is not proven, but this is what some of the people feel. So having that kind of mindset, they went into the finals. The game has been going on, but the beginning of the chaos was when in the second half, towards the last quarter of the second half, Senegal backed a goal. But before the goal, an incident happened. Hakimi was trying to challenge the player who nodded the ball. I think it should be Diouf. He tried to nod the ball. The Hakimi held his hand on his shirt and slipped and fell. The ball hit the crossbar and was rebounded by a Senegalese player, and that was the goal. Senegal ran off to celebrate, and the referee told them that goal will not stand. That was when everybody went ballistic. That was the beginning of the chaotic night of the Afcon finals. Now, who was wrong? What went wrong? The referee blew the whistle almost immediately. Hakim slipped. But the noise in that stadium was too much that you can barely hear yourself for the referee's whistle. But the time between the Hakim slip and the goal entering the net was about 4 seconds. It went pam, pam, pam. The goal was already in the net. But then the people we are not, they are feeling that this is a very soft fall. It is so soft, and it is not a clear and obvious error, and it is not big enough for you to cancel a goal in the final. Now, what the referee will have done is to allow the play to finish, complete the process, then let the VAR call the game back. The ball was still in motion, and these guys are still attacking. Sometimes if you see, if there's a foul, like an offside is a foul, right? So a player is offside and is going to score a goal. Sometimes you allow him to score that goal and let VAR do the judgment. The referee did not even allow, and once the referee has made that call, before the goal, because the VAR can only interfere in goals and red cards. This is the problem, this is the main issue. The VAR can only interfere in red cards and goal incidents. Apart from that, any other on-call pitch calls stands. Follow me. Because the VAR interferes only in goals and in red cards. Apart from that, any other call the referee makes in the pitch stands. The VAR will not interfere. So the referee blew the whistle before the goal. So the whistle was for the foul before, and he was so fast to have blown that whistle. If he had delayed a little bit after the goal, whatever he judges, then the VAR can now intervene, because it has now come to the table of the VAR, because a goal is now involved. The VAR stands to allow or disallow the goal. The referee did not even allow the game to finish. Within seconds, he blew the whistle and he cancelled the goal, and the Senegalese players went crazy. They went ballistic. Now, after a few moments later, the Moroccans had a corner kick. Follow me very carefully. The Moroccans had a corner kick. They crossed the ball. An event happened there. The referee did not blow the event. They kept on playing for like 4 to 5 minutes. They had another corner or another attack, which they played, and they missed the attack. Then Brahim Diaz started complaining, started shouting, calling the referee that something happened, calling the referee back to something happened like 5 minutes ago, which the referee did not see and did not call. He started calling the referee back then. So when he started calling the referee back then to go and check the thing, that was when the referee now had to start intervening. Then VAR start intervening. So after that, if it were for the incident that happened in the Senegalese 18-yard box, the foul from Diop on Diaz, that is a foul, and it is probably a penalty. If you look at that foul, it's a penalty. But the anger was how the other incident was managed compared to how this one was managed. If you cancel this goal that fast, and it don't involve the VAR, and this call, you do not even call it as fast as when it happened, and after 5 minutes, you're not involving the VAR, so they felt that there's some kind of favoritism. So, and it's a final, and that penalty was going to be the final kick of that final. It was going to be at the 90th minute. So, it was chaotic. The whole world was watching. People could not believe what was happening. So, at the time, the referee was giving out yellow card to Mendy. If you're complaining, give you yellow card and all of that. So, the people started emoting individually. The only player that was still calm and was believing was Mane. Sadio Mane was believing that something good can still happen in this game. He told his player, let's continue. The coach went crazy. He called his players out. Let them go out. Let them leave the pitch. The players went out, and later came in. And the penalty was taken by Diaz. Then when Diaz took the penalty, he tried to do a panenka. So he tried to do a panenka, and Mendy is a goalkeeper that does not fly very easily. He does not move so fast. He delayed his movement. So he tried the panenka, and Mendy grabbed it. Senegal kept on playing, and Senegal went on to win the tournament by a lone goal from a strike from the midfield. And since then, Moroccans are now saying that they were robbed. That Senegal cheated them to win the Afcon. That those times that Senegal went out to protest and came in, that it put them off. And that was why Diaz missed the penalty. Recall, Diaz tried a penalty. Diaz did not shoot at goal. He tried to Orafam